It all started on a quiet Tuesday morning. The headlines and other flare-up in the Middle East seemed routine, but this time was different. By Friday, the world was gripped by the roar of fighter jets and air raid sirens, as Israel and Iran plunged into direct, open conflict. Over 250 attacks in days, missiles, drones, and cyber warfare, with lives lost and cities scarred. This is no proxy war, it's a terrifying escalation, decades in the making. Families in Israel and Iran huddle in shelters, hospitals overflow, and neighborhoods lie in ruins. The world is not just watching but holding its breath as every missile launch and diplomatic statement is scrutinized. Global markets reel, oil supplies are threatened, and the question is no longer if this will escalate, but how far. We stand at the edge of uncertainty, reminded how fragile peace truly is. The drums of war have drowned out diplomacy. The human cost is staggering and the stakes are global. This week, the world learned how quickly normalcy can vanish. The abyss of conflict has never felt closer. The crisis erupted with Israeli airstrikes deep inside Iran targeting nuclear facilities at Natanz and a heavy water reactor. Israel's message: stop Iran's nuclear ambitions. No matter the risk, Iran's response was swift and brutal. Ballistic missiles and cruise missiles rained down on Israeli military sites, some breaking through defenses. The logic was deadly. Israel struck Iran's future. Iran hit Israel's present. Each attack demanded a stronger counterstrike, spiraling into a cycle of violence. Civilian targets weren't spared. Broadcast centers in Israel were hit, sowing panic. Iran showcased hypersonic missiles. Israel targeted IRGC command centers in cities, risking civilian lives. The line between military and civilian blurred, raising the stakes and the human toll. The escalation became a terrifying momentum with no end in sight. As the conflict intensified, the U.S. was thrust to the forefront. President Trump's administration responded with military aid to Israel and urgent diplomatic efforts to prevent a wider war. U.S. naval forces went on high alert, and airlifts resupplied Israel's defenses publicly. Trump condemned Iran and affirmed support for Israel while working behind the scenes to de-escalate. But this war wasn't just fought with missiles. Cyber attacks became a new front. Iranian hackers crippled Israeli banks. Israel retaliated by blacking out Iranian cities. The digital battlefield proved as critical as the physical one, sowing chaos without a single shot. In just 1 week, over 250 attacks, airstrikes, missiles, drones marked an unprecedented escalation. The destructive capacity on display was staggering, with the world watching in real time. The risk of even greater destruction loomed if diplomacy failed. The world responded with alarm and frantic diplomacy. The UN Security Council met in emergency session, but unity was elusive, and a ceasefire remained out of reach. Oil prices soared, stock markets tumbled, and the global economy shuddered. The conflict's shockwave spread far beyond the Middle East. Every nation felt the impact. The danger: regional war. Iran's allies like Hezbollah stood ready to escalate. A wider conflict could ignite chaos across the region, threatening fragile stability. The world stands at a crossroads. Escalation is easy, peace is hard. The choices made now will shape the future for years to come. This is no longer just Israel and Iran, it's a global flashpoint. The next days will decide if catastrophe can be averted, or if the world plunges deeper into crisis.